Hey guys, welcome back to my channel. I'm back with another makeup tutorial. We're gonna go ahead and get into this look. I'm gonna start off using the Makeup Revolution Concealer in C12 to prime my eyes like I always do. I'm not gonna set this with powder just to make sure that my eyeshadows come off really pigmented and I'm getting the best color payoff that I possibly can from my eyeshadows. So I'm gonna go ahead and carve out underneath my brows first and then just spread the concealer throughout the rest of my eyelid to prime. I'm gonna add a little piece of tape onto the side of my eyes just to keep my makeup looking like super sharp and clean, and then we're gonna go into eyeshadows. I'm using the Zulu Palette by Juvia's Place first, and I'm taking the pink eyeshadow from the palette. I'm gonna apply this as my first crease color. So when I apply my crease color, I usually like to make sure that I'm just focusing on pigment. So you just wanna make sure that you're getting the color on there and that it's really pigmented and opaque. I'm then gonna go into the yellow eyeshadow from the Zulu Palette and place this onto the edges of the pink eyeshadow that I put on before. And this is the color that I'm going to use to blend out the edges and make everything nice and smooth and so there's no harsh lines. So I'm going in with a slightly fluffier brush for this step just to make sure that the eyeshadow is really diffused. And then if you feel like you're losing the pigmentation of that pink eyeshadow that you applied before, just make sure to go in with your previous brush and reapply it. You can go back and forth between the yellow and the pink until you feel like it's blended to your liking. I'm then going to go into the Magic Palette by Juvia's Place, is using that dark purple shadow on the bottom left corner. I'm going to apply this onto the crease, and this is going to be like the color that really smokes out everything. And I'm just going to apply that again, just making sure I'm focusing on pigmentation, and then blend everything out using that brush that I used to apply the pink eyeshadow from the Zulu palette. So once that's done, I'm going to go ahead and move on to cutting my crease. I'm using another Makeup Revolution concealer. This one is in C1. So I like to use C1 to cut my crease for like cut crease looks and to prime my eye for any type of like lighter or brighter eyeshadow. And then I use C12 to prime my eyes because it's a little bit closer to my skin tone. So those are the two colors that I always use for my eye looks. And once my cut crease is done, I'm going to go back in with that dark purple shade from the Magic Palette and just start smoking out and blurring out the outer corner of that cut crease. For the lid space, I'm using the shade Nubia from the Magic Palette, and I'm just going to apply this using a large shadow brush and really press the eyeshadow on there to get that pigment, to really get like the edges of the cut crease. I'm going to go in with a little bit of a smaller brush to make sure I don't really go like outside the line and everything like that, and everything stays really neat and perfect. Next, I'm adding some gel liner from Pretty Vulgar. I'm going to use an angled brush to apply this, and I'm making the inside of the liner pretty thin and then just kind of really bolding it out on the outer corner. And you just want to make sure that the edges of your liner are nice and smooth and there's no like rough edges or anything like that. And also don't forget to really blend out the outer corner of your liner so that it blends in a lot easier into that darker purple eyeshadow. Going in with Noir from Anastasia, I'm also going to pack this onto the outer corner just to further blend out that gel liner that we used before. Then to really get that super smooth, perfected look, I'm going to go in with a little bit of liquid liner from NYX and just go over my gel liner to smooth out any bumps or uneven edges. Next, I'm going in with the gold liner from OPV Beauty. So I'm going to outline the inside of the cut crease. I'm doing this because I'm going to use a pretty chunky glitter next. It's kind of hard to get a super smooth line when you're using like chunkier glitters. So this is just going to kind of make sure that the edges of our cut crease stay really smooth, but we still have some glitter going on in that area too. Then the glitter that I'm using is from Mermaid Scales, and this one is called Chryso Sand. And I'm gonna stick this on to my lid using my NYX glitter primer. So that's pretty much it for like the eyeshadow and everything like that. I'm gonna add some Lancome Mr. Big mascara, then pop on some lashes from Bold Face Makeup. These are in the style Bold Face Forward. Then I'm gonna use some lash curlers just to press those together with my natural lashes. Moving on to skin, I'm going to start off using the Lancome Le Base Primer to prep my skin and smooth it overall for foundation. I have pretty large pores around my cheek area, so I'm also going to use the Covergirl Pore Minimizing Primer and basically just press that all over my cheeks so that way my pores aren't showing through as much when I place my foundation on. Next, I'm using the Lancome Teint Idole Ultra Wear Foundation in the shade 460 Suede Warm. Shout out to Lancome for sending me this foundation as well as all the other amazing products in this video. I was kind of nervous when I first applied this foundation because I thought it was going to be a little too orange, but once it dried down, it worked out perfectly and blended in right into my skin tone. But I really love the formula of this foundation. If you guys have been thinking about trying it or haven't tried it yet, definitely go for it because the formula of this is really bomb. Next, I'm going in with their Teint Idole Ultra Wear Concealer. This one's a little too close to my skin tone, but that's my fault because that's the shade that I asked for. Either way, the coverage of this concealer is awesome, so I'm just going to use that to conceal my under eyes and then go in with a different concealer later on to get that brightness that I'm looking for. So now I'm going to go in with the Colourpop No Filter Concealer in number 32 and use this to brighten my under eyes. Next, I'm going in with the Dermablend Loose Setting Powder in Translucent, and I'm basically just going to set all the areas that I use concealer. So under my eyes, chin, forehead, a little bit on my brows because I tend to get oily there, and also along my laugh lines. I'm going to go ahead and start bringing some color back into my skin using the Morphe 8H Hi-Fi Contour Palette. And I'm going to use two of the bronzing shades from this palette and just place some along my hairline, my cheekbones, and my nose. Then clean up my cheekbones using a little bit more of that Dermablend powder. Moving back to the eyes, I'm going to go back in with that dark purple eyeshadow from the Magic palette and apply this onto my lower lash line to start smoking it out. I'm also going to go in with the pink and yellow eyeshadows from the Zulu palette and use that to blend out the dark purple we placed on the lower lash line. Then to line my waterline, I'm going to go in with the Urban Decay 24/7 liner in Perversion. I wanted to try something a little different today, so I added some bottom lashes. You definitely don't have to do this step if you don't want to, but yeah, if you're not feeling the bottom lashes, a little bit of mascara will do just fine with this look. I'm then going to go back into Nubia from the Magic palette and pop that onto the inner corner, and that's pretty much it for the eyes. I'm gonna work on brows next. I'm going in with the Anastasia Dip Brow Pomade in Ebony as always, and just creating some really fine hair-like strokes into my brows to fill them in. Then to mesh all those powders together, I'm going to use the Mario Badescu Rose Water Facial Spray and just kind of spritz that all over the skin and let it dry before I apply my highlighter. To start off, I went in with my Joy Cosmetics Strobe Drops in the shade Peach. I'm going to use that to highlight all the high points of my face, so cheekbones, a little bit on the forehead, a little bit on the nose, Cupid's bow, and the chin. Then for my powder highlighter, I'm going in with the Be Bella Cosmetics Fairy Dust Palette. These highlighters are super pigmented, so you only need a little bit at a time. I'm going to use a smaller brush to apply, then a larger brush just to diffuse the edges. Then last but not least, I'm going to go ahead and start working on my lips. I'm starting off lining my lips using a Smashbox lip liner in the shade Nude Dark. For my lip color today, I'm going in with Anastasia's liquid lipstick in Starfish. This is a really cute like nude peachy color. So I'm going to apply and then blend it out using my finger. I'm also going to go in with the Colourpop lip pencil in BFF3 to further blend out the edges of my lip liner. And of course, you guys know I love a good lip glow, so I'm using Milani's Lip Topper, and this one is in the shade Luster Light. I'm using a really small amount on the center of my lips and then using my finger again to blend. Then for my lip gloss, I'm going in with JCat Beauty's Lip Tonics in Honeymoon to Space. And that pretty much completes this look, guys. Thank you so much for watching this tutorial. I really hope you guys enjoyed this makeup look. Don't forget to subscribe to my channel and thumbs up this video if you enjoyed it. And hopefully I will see you guys in my next tutorial.